It's a question we all ask ourselves at some point. What on earth are we here for? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful sermon that offers a pretty incredible answer. It's all rooted in this ancient idea of a royal mission that honestly might just change how you see your own story. So think about the new year. It's that time when hopes are flying all over the place, right? We wish for health, for success, for good luck. But if we're honest, what are we really hoping for? Are these just kind of empty wishes? Or is there something more solid, more real that we're all searching for? And this is where the sermon we're exploring draws a really sharp line in the sand. On one side, you've got these vague, fluffy hopes for good luck, things with no real substance. But on the other side, it talks about a future that is totally solid, something tangible, an unshakable certainty that's a world away from just wishful thinking. But here's the thing. To get a handle on that solid future, the sermon says we can't just look forward. We actually have to go way back and wrestle with a much, much older question about who we even are. And this is it, right here, from the ancient book of Psalms. What is humanity? Seriously? When you look up at the stars and the sheer scale of the universe, what are we in the grand scheme of things? This one question is the anchor for, everything that's coming next. So the Bible's first swing at an answer comes right at the beginning, in the book of Genesis. And it claims that humanity wasn't created just to exist. No, we were made to fulfill this profound and noble purpose, a royal mission. Now, this whole mission is based on a concept called the image of God. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean we physically look like God. According to this sermon, it's a lot more like a job description. We were created to be God's representatives here on earth, like his delegates, tasked with managing and caring for the world. Think of it more like we're trusted partners, not lowly servants. And this original blueprint for humanity, it's incredibly ambitious. Psalm 8 says we were crowned with glory and honor and given authority over the world. The original Hebrew text even suggests we were made just a little lower than God. That is a profoundly high view of the role we were supposed to have. And you've got to understand just how radical, how revolutionary this idea was at the time. In so many other ancient creation stories, humans were basically made to be the slaves of the gods. But the Genesis account just flips that whole narrative on its head. Our purpose wasn't meant to be servitude, it was meant to be a noble kind of stewardship. But as the story goes, something went terribly wrong. Humanity decided to walk away from this mission, to try and define good and evil for ourselves. We basically abandoned our post, and in doing that, we lost that crown of glory and honor. And this led to what the Bible calls death. Now, the sermon is really clear. This isn't just about taking your last breath. In this way of thinking, death is a state of being. It's a process of decay, of corruption, of being separated from the very source of life and purpose. It's like the slow unraveling of that beautiful original design.
So that leaves us with a huge problem, right? If the blueprint is broken and the crown is totally lost, how can things possibly be set right again? How can our original purpose ever be restored?
The sermon's answer to this whole mess isn't some new philosophy or a self-help program. It's a person. It points to Jesus as the one who finally comes and perfectly embodies that original human blueprint, the one who actually lives out the royal mission without a single flaw. And this quote from the book of Hebrews, this is really the heart of the whole argument. It takes that same language from Psalm 8 about being crowned with glory and honor and applied it directly to Jesus. But notice the incredible twist. He gets this crown because he suffered death. He literally enters into our brokenness to reclaim what we lost. So the path to getting things back on track, as the sermon lays it out, has 4 key steps. First, Jesus becomes human, jumping right into our world. Second, he tastes death, willingly experiencing that separation and decay we've been talking about. Third, through his perfect obedience, he's restored to that position of glory and honor. And finally, and this is the amazing part, by doing all this, he opens up that same exact path for everybody else. But this isn't just about hitting a cosmic reset button on the past. The sermon really stresses that Jesus' work actually kicks off a completely new reality, a whole new creation that the Bible calls the future world. And this is a really crucial point. This future world is not the popular idea of a non-physical life after death. It's not about your soul floating on a cloud somewhere. The sermon argues that the Bible's vision is for a tangible, real restoration and perfection of the physical world we know, not some escape from it.
So this gives us a totally new way to look at our lives. We are living here, in the present, which is still subject to all that decay. But for those who trust in this story, their true home, their ultimate citizenship, is in that fully restored future, a reality that is already a done deal. And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. The whole point isn't to just sit around and wait for that future, or to use it as an escape. No, the call is to stand firmly in the certainty of that amazing future and start pulling its reality, its hope, and its values right into how we live in the here and now. Which leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. If you truly believed your future wasn't just some vague hope, but was an unshakable, glorious, guaranteed reality, how would you live differently today? How would that change the way you face your challenges, your job, and your relationships right now?